Hi guys, happy 2022. Today's video is going to be about some top money saving tips for 2022 to help you get started on your financial journey, to help you save as much money as you can. Now, 14 million adults in the UK have less than £100 in their savings accounts, which is really worrying. And if anything happens, it's really tough to get through if all you have is £100 of savings. So that is a big reason why people like me are on YouTube trying to help you save some extra money and make some extra money. So hopefully this video will help, and I've teamed up with Chip for this video, who are sponsoring the video and are actually doing a massive £20,000 giveaway. Now, for most people, £20,000 is a life-changing amount of money. So make sure you watch the video all the way through to know how to enter to be in with a chance to win £20,000. So my first money saving tip for 2022 is going to be if you have debt. So if you do have credit cards and they have interest amounts on them, one of the best things you can do is try to move to a 0% credit card. Now, when I was starting out, this wasn't something that I knew, and I didn't know that sometimes people actually move their debts from one 0% credit cards to another. And whilst there's often a fee involved in moving the money across, that fee tends to be a lot less than if you had just left the money on the main credit card. So there are lots of comparison websites where you can have a look and see which potential 0% credit cards you may be eligible for without doing a hard credit check, which obviously you want to avoid, especially if you're in debt. The one thing to remember on this tip is that at the end of the promotional period of 0%, the interest rate tends to jump quite a bit. So just make sure that you pay off in full before the end of that period. So sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes it's 1 year. Once you've chosen a credit card, figure out either how to pay off in full before the end of the period or apply for another 0% card before that. The second money saving tip for 2022 is to order smaller meals when going out and or eat before you go out. So what I've actually found is that it's similar to shopping on an empty stomach. So you can see that as a bonus tip, if you will. But if I'm going out, I tend not to eat too much beforehand because I'm trying to be healthy and I know that it's going to be like delicious food when I go out. The problem with that is by the time you get to ordering your food, you are so hungry, you just want everything and you end up over ordering. So I tend to order like starter, main, dessert, and then you order drinks and things, and the bill adds up so quickly. And actually, if you'd eaten even something like a banana before you go out, you'll be less ravenous and less likely to over order. You can go for smaller meals. You can opt for just going for a main meal rather than ordering starters and desserts and things like that. And you'll be surprised how much it adds up, especially if you are someone who goes out often or even once in a while. Obviously not helpful if you don't go out at all, but if you do go out, this one can save you quite a lot. The third tip here is to reduce unnecessary subscriptions. So many people are subscribed to everything under the sun. So Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Disney, Spotify, podcasts, whatever it is. You don't need that many subscriptions. If you're really trying to save money, if you have goals, it's not to say that you can't use all of them, but I've mentioned this in videos I've done before. I tend to just pick one for now. So, if I'm watching something on Netflix, I don't need Amazon at the same time. And yes, it's nice to be able to flick through, and sometimes you watch something on one, sometimes the other, but I go through phases where I like complete Netflix, where all that means for me is I've watched everything I want. There's nothing else that interests me until like new movies get added or new seasons of something. So that's the point at which I cancel Netflix and then move to something like Prime Video. Spotify is another good one to look at. So do you really need Spotify? How much do you actually use it? Can you share it with someone? There are ways that you can get accounts together, especially if you live together, which will reduce the cost. But for me, there are months where I know I'm not going to use Spotify at all. And I actually cancelled it, but then I got my car and I realised I hate listening to the radio. So I've resubscribed so I can listen to my playlist offline when I'm in the car. But you know, have a think, do you really need it? And just try to prioritize. The fourth tip is to use cashback sites where possible. So I've made quite a bit of money when I've remembered to use these websites. It doesn't cost you anything at all. It's just anytime you're going to shop for anything online, whether it's insurance or clothes or food or anything, chances are you'll find some form of cashback on the cashback website. So using little things like that, you know, it's not tons of money, but it is something and it all adds up. The next two tips I'm going to band together, and that is automate your savings and try to maximize the savings rate that you're getting. Automating your savings can really stop you having to think about transferring money and forgetting and then spending the money. The more you automate things, the less obstacles you're putting between actually doing something, which means you're more likely to actually succeed. You may have heard of the phrase, pay yourself first. So quite often that just means once you get paid, the first payment goes to you automatically. It doesn't matter what else you're spending on. And then you pay your bills, and then anything you have left over at the end is what you are allowed to spend. Also, making sure that you are getting the best rates possible matters as well, because whilst interest rates are pitiful right now, they are so tiny, it still makes some sort of difference whether you're getting like 0.1% or 0.6 or 7% or 1%, whatever it is. So again, try to find bank accounts where you may not necessarily need to lock your money away. I mean, if you can, great, but not everyone wants to. So this is where this video's sponsor comes in. So Chip, if you haven't heard of them, are a essentially savings platform. And for a long time, their best savings accounts were actually paid for, but now they are introducing free accounts, which are pretty awesome. So you can go check them out. They have a 0.7% account, which is actually one of the best in the market at the moment compared to other easy access accounts. And they also have the automated savings feature. Now, talking of Chip, let's talk about that £20,000 giveaway. All you need to do for one entry into the giveaway is to click the link down below and register your email address, and that will give you one entry into the giveaway. So you don't have to do anything, you don't have to download any apps, just register with your email address. However, if you do want more entries to increase your chances of winning, there are other ways to enter. If you do end up signing up and you use my promo code, which is down in the description below, then you will get an additional 3 entries, which means that just by giving your email and signing up with my promo code, you get 4 entries. And then over here, we can see the other ways that you can get more entries. So if you make a deposit of £1 or more, you will get 50 additional entries. If you refer a friend, you will get another 50. If you enable the autosave, which I mentioned, you get an extra 10. If you have AI savings turned on, you get an extra 10. And if you just create a goal for savings, you get an extra 10 entries. So if you are interested in entering this incredible £20,000 giveaway, then click the link down below and good luck. And if you do win, please let me know, because I'm so curious and I would love to hear your success story. So yeah, let me know either by Instagram or one of the social media accounts. The 6th way to save extra money in 2022 is to buy more own brand items. So a lot of people get caught up in this whole, I must buy branded items because they are better or taste better. And I've spent a lot of time this year watching shows where, I can't remember what it's called now, but it was a show that was on TV, and it was essentially where they came in and swapped some stuff in their kitchens for like own brand items and kept some stuff, and then they asked them to figure out whether they had swapped the item or not to see if they can save money. And it was hilarious how many times people were like, no, you've not swapped it, this is mine. And they were wrong. It was actually the own brand item, or the other way around. So you'll be surprised, because quite often the branded items are actually less healthy as well, because they add sugar to make them taste better. So it's worth experimenting and seeing if you can substitute at least some of your items for own brand items. My next money saving tip for 2022 is to turn down your heating. I see so many people, you know, having their heating on so high that they're walking around in t-shirts at home, and it's just unnecessary. Like, obviously don't be uncomfortable, don't be cold, but actually if you just put on like a t-shirt and a jumper, you know, put a few layers on to make sure you're comfortable, and you'll find pretty quickly that you can turn down your thermostat by like 1 or 2 degrees, which can make a huge difference in your money, especially now with gas prices going up and electricity going up. If you are someone who has their heating on high enough to walk around in a t-shirt in the middle of winter, then you could probably consider turning down the thermostat. The 8th tip is to wash your clothes in cold water. And by cold, I mean 30 degrees. That's considered cold, because that over time can actually make a huge difference to your bills as well. You really don't need to wash everything at 40 degrees unless it's really dirty, unless it's, you know, bedding, towels, kitchen towels or something. Unless it's really dirty, you can just wash it in 30 degrees and you'll be surprised over the course of the year how much money you can save on your bills. The 9th tip is to buy in bulk where you can for non-perishable items that you use all the time. So places like Costco are awesome for that, or, you know, if you see something on offer that you use all the time that's not going to go off anytime soon because food waste is really bad, buy it. You know, things like toilet paper or cans of stuff or flour, or, you know, long-term things that don't perish or perish very, very slowly. You can save a lot. Obviously you need space to store it, but if you do have the space and the money to buy up front, it's almost like a spend to save type scenario, but definitely worth considering. And the 10th and final money saving tip for 2022 is one that I go on about all the time, and it's budget. Start a budget. Honestly, so many people still don't budget, and it's hilarious how many people message me once they've started and tell me how much it's changed their life. Having a budget is not about restricting yourself or saying you have to spend that amount of money per month on this. It's really not. It's just so you can see your income and outgoings per month. And the one that I use has a 12-month time frame where I can see how decisions I make now are going to impact my finances 6 months down the line, and what I can and can't allow myself to do. So honestly, budgeting is life-changing and can help you save so much money if you don't already do it. That's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you've learned something new. Hopefully it's been useful. And don't forget to enter the £20,000 giveaway. And best of luck and Happy New Year once again. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.